Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name's Alex, aka Polymonster, also aka Walthamstow Gremlin. Shout out to the diig chat if you know, and if you see this, then you now know my true identity. I wanted this to be a start of a series of development-focused videos about an app that I've been working on, in the hopes to hedge my bets against the oncoming AI apocalypse and become a content creator instead. I've been working on a music discovery app aimed at record collectors to be able to browse online record stores in a very optimized way so you can listen to music snippets very quickly, which helps you go through more music more quickly. Because generally I find online record stores are quite lackluster when it comes to the user experience and inconsistent. And as an optimization focused programmer, it was something I thought I could solve. So up until now, I've been really the only person using this on a regular basis. I gave it to some of my friends who also collect records, and they found it interesting out of curiosity, but I don't think they really used it full time. That being said, I think there are people that might be interested in this, and so I thought I'd do some videos like this to maybe gain a bit of exposure. And I've set the groundwork for things to be community driven, so it's extendable and we can add more to it and, you know, kind of add specific things for specific people's needs and then grow it as a kind of a platform. So I think the best way to start this is to actually show it in action. I'm going to open it now. Just loads the latest feed. This is Red Eye Records and this is the latest releases on there. So it's like an Instagram user interface. You can have slides, you can slide across. These are the number of tracks in this particular release. You can like it. You have a little symbol here. This means pre-order. There's a shopping trolley one, which means it's out at the moment. The general idea is that when I skip, it will immediately play because everything's queued and cached. There's zero latency, or there should be zero latency between you selecting the next thing and the audio playing. Sometimes the tracks have built-in fades in and fades out. These little symbols mean this has been in the chart and it has previously sold out. So this is previously sold out and now it's available for pre-order again. The thing with record collecting is there is a scarcity element to it. If you're not familiar with it, they don't make, large amounts of records, and each batch is kind of variable depending on the label and the popularity. This one I liked earlier because I'd just been through this feed before. I had to do a few takes of this video as well, so this one goes in my likes and this will be at the top of my likes, I think. But essentially it's all about super fast audio playback, so I can go through loads of music really quickly and just find stuff that I like. If you see labels you like, usually I'll give them a bit longer. I like this label. If you see labels you don't like, you can just skip past them. Some of them might not have audio. Usually it's because the track in the website doesn't have audio, but sometimes it could be down to a parsing issue. And I'll go into more details on the kind of technical stuff about how it finds all of this information. But yeah, hopefully you can see the responsiveness. The responsiveness is the main focus on this in terms of what I wanted. I know I don't like that label, so I'm just going to skip past it. But when you're digging for music, kind of going through as much as you possibly can, there's a lot of new music coming out all the time. If you're not familiar with sort of like electronic music scene, it's the rate at which music comes out is insane, and it has been that way since the 90s. So there's just so much music that you'll never be able to listen to it all. Basically, you just have to listen to tiny little snippets like this, and then hopefully find stuff that you like. If you do find something you like and you want to buy it or pre-order it, I get my stuff from Red Eye. I like Red Eye because you can reserve them. So if I order this, I can put it into my basket and then it will reserve it until I want it to be shipped. So I'll have a big batch of them. But yeah, that's essentially the whole thing. If I go into my likes, this is the ones I liked earlier. And I'll go through my likes and sort of curate them. And this is one thing I want to add to this, is that having the likes to be able to go through them is all right, but I think having a different way of kind of dealing with the like system, like a website you could go on, you could organize things a bit more and have a bit more control, and maybe like the browsing experience and the buying experience are different. Let's have a look if we can find. So this one's in stock now, so I could just buy it if I wanted. Previously sold out, but in stock now. And yeah, this is some stuff I listened to this morning. This one's really nice. But yeah, basically Instagram, but for music digging. So how does this all work? All of the code is on GitHub. My username on there is called Polymonster. So it's github.com/Polymonster. You'll get to my profile. Go to the project /dig, D-I-I-G. I had to call it that because iOS, there was already an iOS app called Dig with 1G, or 1I, sorry. So all the code's available on there. I'll go into detail of the tech stack. It's licensed under GPL 3, so it's not super permissive, but collaboration is encouraged. I just want all of the changes and the contributions to be shared, because I would like this to be potentially a community project if people wanted to add their own record stores, follow different labels, add different kinds of content and grow the platform. The app itself is written in C++, and on iOS it uses Objective-C for some of the lower level stuff that interfaces with the operating system, and it uses Apple Metal as the graphics API. I'm using curl to help with all the web kind of interaction, Fmod for audio, and imGUI to do the UI. This is all actually supported and comes from my game engine, PM Tech, which is it's not just a game engine, it's sort of multimedia engine, so it could play audio and it could render graphics or UIs. And that already gave me a massive head start of a lot of the kind of low-level optimization and kind of real-time qualities that I wanted in a code base. And also I'd written it myself, so I've been able to extend it and add anything that I needed. But the benefit of using this is that I also have, even though it's not been really published fully, I have a working macOS build, I have a working Windows build. It would also run on Linux. I have a WebGL and WASM web backend, which could be used to just support this on the web, although I think I'd probably go with a different kind of tech stack for the web version. But using this code base, it's like a small framework that can give me a lot of platform support, and that'll open the door to supporting more platforms for the Dig app. But also we could have different kinds of apps within the same ecosystem. And certainly one thing I would like to approach is having a web page or a web view for this, where doing things like browsing the music might be a different experience to the phone, but it might be better for managing your likes and curating your music. The code base also has an offline aspect, so outside of the app there's the scrape, and this is how all of the information is gathered to populate the app itself. You have a schema for defining different record stores, so here I've got Juno, Red Eye and Yoyaku, and you can put in information here about the sections you want it to scrape and be available in the app with a URL. That's implemented by implementing a scrape function. So the main function really inside the scraper goes into scrape store. Each store defines its own scrape page function, and in say Red Eye we can go to the scrape page here, where we open the URL and then parse information out of the HTML. This is actually all set up on Firebase as well. So I have a Firebase database. When the scrape happens, we can have a look at Firebase. No, it's Firestore database. Here we go. Collection releases Juno. No, real-time database. Sorry, is the one that it is. And here we go. So we have stores. We have Juno, Redeye, Yoyaku. Just go for one of these. Views, which is a monthly chart, and that's the information about it. New releases, the sections. That's just the store information. Actually, releases is the main bulk, and these are the individual elements. They're tags, and then it has the artist name, the artwork, URLs, catalog number of the website of the release, and all these kind of things, links. So this information is pulled down from the app. It actually runs on a GitHub action runner. So if we go on here in the repository itself, diig, there's GitHub actions, and these are running nightly, which scrape, and they can scrape this. Yoyaku is disabled because they kept kind of cancelling or denying the web requests. But they're implemented from the Python. You can run this locally, and then also I store what I call is the registry, which is a kind of an a local store of what's in the database. So here's a release on Juno, and here's all of the information in JSON. This is essentially what goes into Firebase. It just gets copied, and that uses the patch. There's some authentication keys in here that you need. But that's the kind of basic setup of that. One thing I would like to do is integrate a bit more deeply with Discogs. So Discogs is a records website which is community driven, and it has a huge array of different of all records, basically a comprehensive library. You can have your own profile on here. Here's my collection showing 250 per page. This is all the stuff I've got. Everything I've got is on Discogs because it's nice to track it. And then when you go to a release, you can listen to the snippets, which they usually put it on YouTube. That played immediately, but the problem is that these have ads, and you know, it's the whole video. Sometimes they get taken down by copyright strikes and that kind of thing. So what I would like to do is integrate a bit more closely with this, because there is a public API for Discogs, and I can use this to drive the artwork and the information about a release, and maybe my app could provide the snippets. And finally then, if you are interested in this, or it sounds fun, and you want to try and use it, the app is available as a beta, so I'm considering doing a limited beta launch. I can send it to people if you have test flights. The source code is available if you want to play around with it yourself, or if you want to contribute. If you want to see more of this, then please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all of that nonsense. Please drop me a comment if you do. It'd be interesting to see, and let me know your thoughts. But anyway, I'll be back for another one, and I'm going to do some more videos of different topics of coding and talking about different projects I'm working on.